You know, there was a time in the history of our species when we didn't have to think too much about what we ate. 5,000 years ago, we pretty much ate what was available, when it was available. And we didn't always like that plan very much, but it turned out to be pretty nutritionally correct for what we needed. And in fact, perhaps the most nutritionally correct we have ever been. Now, you might think of the time about 5,000 years ago, and I could have picked just about any time period more than 1,000 years ago, but the point is that you might think of that time as being one of hardship, one of, having to scratch and claw a meal together, and you would probably mostly be right. Those aren't pleasant thoughts. We like to think that we maybe have advanced beyond that. But the fact of the matter is we most often will create as many problems as we solve. And that appears to be what has happened to us nutritionally. We now have the advantage of who knows how much we are awash in scientific health, scientific data about health. We are awash in things called health clubs, and yet we are experiencing some of the worst health as a species that we have ever known. So somewhere we messed things up, and it would do us all really well to figure out exactly when and how we did that. And I might be able to shed a little bit of light on that for you tonight, and even give you a really simple path back out of that. Because in our ignorance right now is where the trouble is. And I don't know how you view trouble nutritionally. Whether or not it is, most of us don't really think too much about our diets, perhaps until we want to drop a couple of pounds. That is only the most outward evidence that things have gone a little screwy. There are others, and frankly, those of us that manage to remain thin without having a clear guideline for what we should or should not be eating are actually in a little more peril because they're not as aware that they are eating poorly. Our bodies are very forgiving. Our bodies will tolerate quite a wide range of dietary habits and nutritional content without falling apart completely. But that doesn't mean that there is not a price to pay for that.